Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and in this video I've got 3 replays for you in the Tier 8 French Premium Medium Tank, the AMX CDC. So before we get started, I'll just go into the equipment and perks that I run on this tank. So I've got Vert Stabs, Optics and Camo Net. And on the perks, running the usual stuff that I do, I've got Ball Leader, Rapid Reload, 6th Sense, Steady Aim, Situational Awareness, Camouflage Expertise, Snapshot, Muffled Shot and Silent Driving. Now I should probably mention, I think I didn't actually run a full 9 perk crew on this. It was just 6 perk, I think. So what I've just shown up there is predominantly what I would run fully if I had, a full perk setup. But I had the usual. I had your Born Leader, Rapid Reload, 6th Sense, Steady Aim, Situational Awareness and Snapshot more than likely. But yeah, those last 3 are what I would have added. So yeah, the AMX CDC then. The good things about it is obviously you can see the mobility that we're flexing on Westfield here. It has got 57 kilometers an hour top forward speed with 25 kilometers an hour reverse. You've got good DPM with 240 alpha on the gun with 212 millimeters penetration on your AP rounds and 259 millimeters on your APCR. It does have really good shell velocity with that as well. You've got 1000 on your standard rounds and HE as well, I should note, with 1250 on your APCR. You've got a 6.4 second reload time base with a base 1.8 second aim time and 1.22 on rotation. Of your turret, you've got 10 degrees of gun depression with 0.32 accuracy. Good camo as well with 365 on the move and 339 meters of still concealment when you're not moving. And you have a vast amount of ammo as well. So yeah, you've got plenty of rounds to play with on the CDC. The bad points of the tank, well, no armor at all, not even turret armor. It literally is paper thin. So beware when you sort of play your tier 10 games when you're coming up against RT. Well, when you come up against artillery in any tier, to be honest, you are going to get absolutely pummeled if they hit you and penetrate you on the deck. You've got 390 meter view range, which is okay, but not. I'd probably say it's a little bit more on the average side rather than decent, but it's still good enough to be effective, I guess. And you got 15% fire chance. So again, not terrible, but not great either. It's sort of sat in the middle, and being French as well, something to bear in mind. You are more than likely going to get set on fire at some point. Again, particularly when artillery hits you. Obviously, you can see you've got a large engine deck there for artillery to slap into. But as long as you use that good mobility to move around, there's not much of a chance that you should be getting hit by artillery. And if you do, it's more unlucky and good skill on the artillery part, or good aiming, should we say, rather than it being your fault. So anyway, we're going to move on to the gameplay now, and we're on the first replay, which is on Westfield here. We're not on the good spawn, but we have moved up to the corner here, which is position I always like to play when I'm in a medium, well, fast medium or a light tank. Anything basic that has good maneuverability, mobility and speed, I will always play this position. Why? Because it's all about map control Westfield. As I've mentioned many times before, if you lose map control on Westfield, then you are more than likely going to lose the game. And I've come to this position because, well, we're doing alright. We've up to 3.1k damage already. We're putting her on tanks that have been spotted in the middle. Now, I've not really spotted anything up the 9-0 line, but I'm conscious of getting shots into tanks that are in the middle before I make my move onto the 9-0. And there we go, we made a move, but there are tanks there, and unfortunately one of them being a Dreadnought or a KB, Dreadnought there. So that's and you see where the no armor really comes into its own of being its downfall on this tank. we were full health, and we've just had just under 1,000 hit points, or should say 900 hit points, are just under taken away from us just like that, because well, that's what happens when you get slapped by a dreadnought. So not great, but hopefully here we picked up some assist with the artillery just absolutely caning the dreadnought. So the artillery has done us a massive favour there. And we've got retribution for being slapped. Now you can see this medium tank that is moving up. Now I'm going to get some shots in, but equally I am spotting this target up. Can I get the kill shot? I can indeed, which picks up our second kill of the game. Now I'm just squeezing in behind this ridge. There's only 2 tanks left and we know where they are, but I was just sort of just cutting in so I didn't get shot by this Gorinich here. And luckily we do manage to put the kill shot in, picking up our 3rd kill of the game, which just leaves this AT-15 who we do get shot into, and then he gets finished off by our friendly javelin. So a nice quick game to start off the video there, and we come top of the board with just over 3.5k damage with 3 kills, 2.7k assist, and only the first class and the high caliber there, but obviously playing tier 8s, we are pretty much top tier there. But yeah, it was a good replay to sort of show off the flexibility of the AMX CDC, and yeah, we're going to show it more in this replay as well on Malinovka here. Another nice open map where we can flex. This is predominantly the right sort of map that you want for the AMX CDC. Big open map where you can sort of get into positions pretty quick. Again, Malinovka is similar to Westfield. I kind of know where the cross points are, the areas to play that I know I'm going to sort of pick up a fair bit of damage or assist and make myself as effective as possible. So we're coming up with this friendly light tank here. The light tank's obviously doing the right thing by spotting up here. We're also coming just to see if we can potentially spot anything up, but also more importantly try and get some shots on the cross. But we do have to obviously be careful. You can see the hill is, well, it's being contested by a light tank, but there's nothing really going with it. We spotted this iron rain there. We're going to get a shot into the iron rain. Maybe perhaps we might have not done the right thing there. I don't know if we've potentially hindered our light tank and got him shot. If so, I do apologise to that light tank. That wasn't my intention. I just sort of wanted to come here and also just try and help out and get some damage, but still, nonetheless, we're all here. We're all trying to sort of do a job. We're all trying to spot and get shots off, and just win the game basically. But not really had much joy. We have picked up a little bit of assist to start off with. We picked up a little bit of damage. Now artillery is looking at us, and it's like I said before. The last thing we want to do is get hit by artillery, because we've got quite a long tank for artillery to aim at. Unfortunately, our light tank gets taken out by the iron rain there in spectacular fashion. The light work show begins on that tank. But yeah, we're still here. We're still sort of spotting where we can. We're still trying to get shots in on tanks that are crossing there. We do get a nice shot into that medium tank or heavy tank that's crossing up to the hill. The hill is the heavy tanks are slowly getting to the hill now, so I'm sort of not too worried. Then we spot this M48 round panzer that seems to be on his own little mission, just going across the lake there. So we're going to get some shots in, but now he's turning his attention to us, so we're just going to duck down underneath the ridge. I'm going to put a few more shots in, but then we get a shot from the hill there. Unfortunately, we take 2 shots from the hill, which is not great. I think a couple of shots from that Nomad that's put us down to just over 800 damage. But again, fortunately, artillery is hitting some tanks on that hill there, and we are picking up a little bit more assist. But it's just a bit frustrating that we got shot from the hill there, and sort of hoping that our tanks can put in the damage there. I want to try and poke up, see if we can get another shot into this round panzer. So that round panzer is in a it's in a tight spot there where we're just going to get proxy spotted all the time. But we are getting fired from the hill, and yeah, we've just taken a bit of a beating there from the light tanks out in the field. frustratingly enough, I've had to pull back from that position because I'm practically a 1 or a 2 shot to most of these tanks. It's really frustrating that we've lost the field there because, you know, we had sort of our light tank playing the field. I'm not entirely sure why our light tank is on the hill. Now, I'm just going to point out here, I don't really like to criticise anybody else's, you know, play style, but a light tank on the hill on Malinovka is just the biggest waste of time going. You know, you might as well just YOLO out into the field, and if you're going to do those sort of plays, because the hill is contested, you're not going to spot anything up on the hill because it's already spotted by your heavy tanks. So your best position is to be out in the field and not YOLO around, because that's not the right way to do it, but you can play quite passive in the middle, and I'm hoping sort of in the future, if I get sort of a light tank gameplay on Malinovka, I might be able to show you exactly what I mean, because Malinovka is that type of map for light tanks where you really can reap some assist. It's a brilliant map for light tanks personally in my view, but it is what it is. You know, light tank's just playing his own game. You know, some people aren't familiar with the best positions to play, but he's now going out and chasing the enemy light tank now. So yeah, we'll see how that one ends up. But trying to sneak a shot into IS, who just making it difficult by getting behind that church. But now he's out in the open, and we're just going to farm this IS happily, getting shots in the side, tracking him in place. I don't think this guy is going to last very long, and yeah, we're happily just firing away, picking up some assist as well, some nice track assist. A little bit worried about this light tank. I would like to get that light tank out, but luckily our SVAC comes in clutch there and takes out the light tank, so we don't have to worry. And it's a 6v5. This is a close game. However, my hit points, yeah, we've really suffered a beating by being in the middle there and taking those shots from the hill and those light tanks out in the middle. Really could have done with those hit points, you know, for the end game here, and we will see why coming up. Now we've just got TDs and a heavy tank left, so in some ways it's kind of up to me to, you know, provide a bit of vision. So I said, I've got, you know, I've got half decent camo in this, so I can play the light tank role. And we get a shot into that SVAC there. We've obviously got the bog horror out in the field, trying to squeeze another shot into that SVAC. Now it's a 3v5 and the numbers aren't really working in our favour, but I've got to try and help my team as much as possible, and as I'm just sort of sitting here just trying to get the spots really. Trying to see if these guys will venture out in the open and give us an area of their tank where I can punish. Unfortunately, the steering wheel gets taken out by the SVAC. We have got a friendly heavy tank on the hill. Luckily, the SVAC kills himself, and that's always a bonus. When, you know, a strong tier 8 tank just decides to throw his hit points away. We'll take that every time. So now we've just got 3 heavy tanks and an artillery piece. And at this point, I'm thinking, well, this is great. Now the SVAC's out of the game, this kind of swings it in my favour a little bit. You know, I know where 2 heavy tanks are. We get a blind shot into the bog horror. We've got this other heavy tank that was trying to cap our base. I don't really know where the other heavy tank is or what it is, so I've got to bear that in mind. But we see this Y tank, the new American heavy tank that looks a bit like ET, sitting near the base, and we know the other tank has just moved into the base. So I'm going to try and provide some vision. We see our heavy tank on the hill there. He's going to be able to cover us, so hopefully all we can do is just poke this ridge, just spot them up, and then potentially the heavy tank can help finish them off, which he does. We get a side shot into that tank, putting him down to a 1 shot. The Y tank is on around about just under 400 hit points. So he's no real threat at the moment. But then I see our heavy tank start YOLOing in. Now, I should probably point out here the first mistake of this game and how it concludes. So their heavy tank is moving in now, and our friendly heavy tank has a lot of hit points, which is good. Obviously the Y tank doesn't, and now the Y tank's a one-shot. So I'm kind of thinking, well, this heavy tank should be comfortable taking him out. So is there any point in hanging around? You know, I'm probably not going to get the kill. I'm not going to get any extra damage. Yeah, I'm confident the heavy tank's going to get taken out. Then I spot this full health tiger, which is actually the Czechoslovakian tiger. Now I do get lit there, unfortunately, but I do get a shot into the side. Now I'm going to just move around and wait. Now, unfortunately, our friendly Y tank, who had a lot of hit points, and you know, the Y tank on the enemy team, which had near enough no hit points, has died. So now I'm in this predicament. I'm on a 1v3. Looking back, should I have potentially, what I probably should have done is moved down sort of into the lake area and got right down to sort of you know, behind our spawn essentially, and taken out that Y tank. I should have helped our heavy tank out basically, and get rid of that Y tank, because you know, having a heavy tank with all his hit points would have been instrumental to us winning the game. Probably just gave you the spoiler alert there as to what's going to happen. So I know the Y tank is a one shot, I know that much. I know the Czechoslovakian heavy was on the hill, who's moved down, but then somehow the Czechoslovakian heavy tank is now in the lake, which I was not expecting for the life of me. Artillery is still alive, so I have to obviously, you know, bear that in mind. I've got Czechoslovakian heavy tank coming and bearing down on me. I've got the Y tank in the cap. I need to make a decision as to what to do and what to do for the best. So I've decided to lose the spot first, obviously. Now try and see if I can get a shot into the Y tank. I thought, you know, that would sort of pen his turret. Unfortunately it didn't. Now I've gone for the HE because his 12 hit points should be able to penetrate. Unfortunately that shot bounces, so I need to properly aim, get the cupola and take him out with a HE round. Not a problem. So now my next mistake, well, it's not really a mistake, it's just I wasn't expecting this Czechoslovakian heavy tank to cut me off like that. I thought he was going to go up past the church, and I thought he was going to make his way up to the hill, because that's where I was heading to. I wasn't expecting him to come here. Knowing that I just had no chance of getting rid of this heavy tank whatsoever because he's full health, I just basically panicked, RBRT'd, lost the game basically. So, but I did pick up 4k damage, 2 kills. It was a first class. Could have possibly been an ace. Would have been if I've made a few better decisions. Equally, kind of wish our Y tank didn't really go YOLOing into that other enemy Y tank. We could have played that if he was a little bit more passive. But it's one of those, it is what it is, and it's just unfortunate. You know, that game could have been a real barnstormer if we just played it a little bit better as a team. But never mind, it is what it is. You can't win them all. We're moving on to the third and final replay now. We're on Safe Haven. Not a particularly favourite map of mine, and not really one that I would sort of prefer to play in the AMX CDC. But nonetheless, you know, you deal with the cards that you dealt. We are platooned up with Mass, so there's some consolation there. Mass is in the artillery, obviously, and we know we're going to have good backup with Mass when he's in arty. So we have got 2 artillery as well. So my plan is obviously to move up to the north ground, into the hills, and provide a bit of vision, because one thing that, if you've noticed, we don't have any light tanks. So again, sort of with the good camo on this, when I'm still, I can perhaps provide that vision. Although we've only got 390 view range, but we can still just about make it work, particularly when there's no light tanks around. You know, if you know what you're doing, you know, you should be able to get some spots. Now I'm just using this rock as a good bit of cover, and I'm just poking either side of it to try and see if I can spot any tanks up. I've got a couple of tank destroyers and a medium tank coming up here as well for support, so I know I'm not completely on my Todd here, and hopefully if I do spot some tanks up, those guys should be able to get a shot in. Now I do blind fire a bush just in anticipation that there might be something sitting there. I do get lit. Mass gets a 1 in a million shot on Panzerjäger there, that, you know, he noticed the tree falling down in the back, Fair play to him. That was a good shot. So hopefully he can start to put some shots into this STB1 that we've just lit up for him. But doesn't seem like any of our team that are behind us managed to get a shot. Well, one shot does go in. We poke again, but I'm not going to sort of overreach or overpeak too much because I don't want to get any shots in return. Like I say, this doesn't have any armour. We are bottom tier, I think, in this game as well. So again, I need to just be careful of that. I don't want to get slapped by any sort of hard-hitting TDs that are sitting in the back there. I'm just quite comfortable just playing the patient game and just waiting to see what presents itself. I'm waiting for the enemy to make the mistake, basically. And I'm just going to keep poking, just try and see what vision I can provide for my team and where we can get some shots, where possible. So we see his T-54E1 there, who's firing at our friendly. We get a shot into him, try and get a shot into the STB1 that is still camping at the back there. But then we see this AMX coming in, so we're going to get some shots into the side of him. He does light us up. Going to chance a shot again. We are targeted, but no one shoots us in return. So we got away with that one. So pop some shots in. Artillery is focusing on us. Does manage to catch us with a splash shot, but doesn't do too much damage. So I'm not going to cry about that too much. Now I'm going to move in. I want to take out this, or help take out this heavy tank. There's a big waffle on the hill. So again, need to use the mobility to quickly get out of the sight of that waffle and try and get a shot into that AMX heavy tank, but the Badger manages to take him out. Again, picking up a little bit more spot and assist there. We're actually up to 2.5k spot and assist, so we've done a really good job helping our team with the assist there. Only got 698 damage, but we've not really had the opportunity to get any shots off. And like I say, I didn't want to risk my hit points, for just one shot of damage. I'd rather just sort of play the support role at this moment and see where I can get the assist, if any. We've got his Conqueror in the low ground here, and I'm just going to try and pop up and see if I can spot anything else. We do get spot, but the STB1 gets taken out by a friendly Ferdinand. Artillery is still looking to get a shot into us. So again, I'm just going to sit at the back here behind these rocks, using it as cover so that I don't get hit by artillery. We poke up there, we see the big waffle. So again, not really in a position where he can get shot by our teammates, so it's only artillery that can hit him. I'm hoping Mass might be able to land a shot in, but that doesn't really happen. Now at this point, that was a bit of a silly play there because I just overpeaked a bit too much to try and get a shot in. Didn't pen the shot and ended up taking a round in return, but he does get absolutely walloped for that. Which is fine. We'll take that. We'll take all that assist, and equally we will take the fact that there is now dangerous TD out the game from that. We're going to move in and get a shot onto the Conqueror while we're on the move. We've pretty much got a strong hold on this game now. We can see heavy tanks sitting in the middle there. We set the MBT on fire, which is nice. Let's see if we maybe put another shot in. We do. We're shooting on down to his on top of his lower plate, unfortunately, or upper plate, should I say. We do bounce there. I think we just hit an angle. Artillery's looking at us again, so we need to be careful. And I'm just going to dodge and weave here. And now I'm going to push up, so I want to spot the last couple of tanks. Artillery does get a lucky splash on us, tracking us in place, but we're back on the move again. Now we see this Borsig, and again it's just hit and run here. Swings his come round, but luckily I think we just get underneath his gun line for him to be able to shoot us. Artillery is taking aim. The Borsig gets taken out by our friendly heavy tank, but then we make this great play. Some brilliant driving here, and decide to flip my tank. Artillery was looking at us. Luckily we don't get hit by artillery. I was really surprised. I was so expecting an artillery shell. I think he must have been on reload. So the RNG gods help us out there with a little bit of luck. We don't get hit, because I think if artillery had hit us there while we're upside down, that would have been game over, because 20mm of belly pan is going to be easy to penetrate. While we're sort of moving over here, the T-54E1 is sat in the city there. He does get a shot into us, putting us down pretty much to a one shot, but I'm not overly fussed. I just wanted to get over to artillery to try and put some shots in. That heavy tank is going to get taken out soon enough, and he does. And there we go. We've spotted up the artillery. We nearly flipped the tank again. Get a shot into him, but then he swings his turret round to us. So now for the time being, I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to let Mass and the other artillery do their thing and finish them off. I was thinking maybe I could squeeze in a shot there, but Mass comes in clutch and absolutely batters him with a great big round, finishing him off and bringing us the win for the game. So let's see how we got on. We got 2.3k damage there. And we got some whopping amount of assists with 5.8k assists. Only the one kill, but enough to bring us the ace tanker. Fair play to Mass as well. He had a really good game in the artillery and provided some fantastic support as always. And yeah, that is it for the AMX CDC, guys. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. And to be honest, just to mention as well, this tank was out in the store a little while ago. I don't think it is now. However, if you did miss out on this tank, or you haven't got this tank, you're looking to get this tank, I would probably say keep your eyes peeled for the Black Friday event in November, because the AMX CDC Black will be probably available to buy in the store, which is exactly the same as this tank. There is no difference apart from the black skin. So yeah, if you're looking to get this tank, guys, I would look out at the Black Friday sales in November for this tank. Anyway, guys, that is it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe, because it always does help the channel. And as always, I'll catch you next time.